Hello YouTube, this is XT2CR and today I'm reviewing a flashlight, more specifically the Klarus XT2CR 1600 lumen flashlight. You know, in most of my reviews I like to go over the stats and specifications first and then talk about my experience with the product. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to read off of this box because that's pretty simple to do, and I don't have to remember anything. 1600 lumens, maximum distance, that would be its turbo mode, is 240 meters. Maximum runtime is 200 hours. 1 meter impact resistant. IPX water resistance is 2 meters, IPX8. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but its lowest setting is 10 lumens, and that's for 200 hours. High is 400, turbo is 1600, and medium is going to be 100, and that's going to be for turbo is let's see, where is it? Turbo is 1.2 hours, high is 4 hours, medium is 14 hours, and low is 200 hours. It also has a strobe and an SOS. This is a programmable flashlight. I have it set up for tactical uses. They have an outdoor version and a tactical program. So if you're using this as a hunting or camping flashlight, you can set it up where you can have the SOS, or if you want to use it as a tactical flashlight, you can set it up where it has the fast strobe. And but you can't have both the strobe and the SOS. So you either will have to pick one or the other. And I can't remember how much this cost, but I got it on Amazon. And this is the flashlight right here. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But just to kind of tell you what it came with, you know, the charging cable, and it came with a spare 8650 battery, or what is it? 18650. Yeah, that's right. I was correct. But it came with a spare battery, and the battery comes charged. So if you want to use this one and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you run out of batteries, you just pop this in and you'll get to go for however long flashlight or however long your mode will allow you to keep on going. I keep mine, you know, on tactical, and you know, I have it turbo mode and strobe first, because if I need light, I need a lot of light really quickly. And I carry this flashlight usually if I'm going to a nightclub, or if it's during the fall and winter where we have shorter days and I know I'm going to be out in dark. I'm going to carry this flashlight, and it is chargeable right on the flashlight. You just remove that or flip up that rubber flap, and you hook that micro USB to your computer or to a wall charger, whatever you have, and you can charge it up that way. The pocket clip is rotatable. You can rotate it to whatever suits your needs. If you're going to carry it left-handed, right-handed, back pocket, front pocket, whatever you're going to do. It also came with a sheath, which I don't have with me at the moment because I don't use it. And my favorite feature about this style of flashlight, or Klarus in general, not all Klaruses have this layout, but I love this layout where you have your consistent on and off. So if you're going to be searching for something, you can do that, and you can cycle through the modes with the mode button. So you have your consistent on, you have your mode button, and if you really need to strobe someone or an animal really quickly, you just press the mode button and you get a 1600 lumen strobe. And that strobe is really good for disorienting people, or even disorienting animals. You know, I've used strobes against dogs, and it works pretty well. The cool thing about strobe is that it's overwhelming your visual senses, And me and my brother's done experiments with each other and our friends where with a much weaker flashlight at night with their eyes adjusted to the dark, we'll strobe, and then we'll walk to the person that we're strobing and we'll touch them on the nose, and they can't tell, they lose their depth perception. All they see is a light moving back and forth, and then all of a sudden you're in front of them. So strobe is a very cool and very useful feature to have for self-defense. And like I said, if I'm going to a nightclub, I can't legally have or I can't carry a knife, I can't carry a gun, so it's usually this and pepper spray, maybe my keys if things go really bad. But and another cool feature is it has this crenulated bezel, or DNA collector as it's affectionately called, and it's removable. So if you go to a place and like, hey, we don't want that flashlight with the DNA collector on it, you can take it off and you have a normal looking flashlight. If the places you're going are not as uptight, you can put that on there and use this as an impact tool to hit with, and that bezel is going to multiply the force onto whatever you're hitting. So if you hit someone on the forehead with this, you're going to be more likely to cut them, and it's just makes it a little bit more unpleasant to the person you're hitting if you have that bezel. Something that it also does is when you lay it flat on the on its bezel, you can tell that the flashlight's on. Now this is the big disappointment with this flashlight. I like the flashlight, I'm relatively happy with the flashlight, but this mode switch and your strobe switch gets pressed very easily when it's in your pocket. I usually carry this in my back pocket because, well, if I'm carrying a knife or gun or something, I usually carry this in my back pocket. If I'm going to a nightclub, I don't always have this in the back pocket, but regardless, this switch presses very easily. So you'll be sitting down, and this is usually a problem when you're sitting. You won't notice it because it's in your pants until it starts heating up, and it'll get really hot, and you'll be like, oh, what's that? Well, your flashlight's on, and it drains your battery. And I had that happen to me, where this was on for such a long period of time, it warmed up, and it cut the run time down because it was constantly on. I was sitting down. So that's something you have to watch out for when you're sitting down, that you don't accidentally press that button. My brother has another klarus where this has a metal switch that's on top of a rubber boot. My brother has a older version of this flashlight where it doesn't have the metal, the sheet metal switch on it. It's just the rubber boot, and I think that one is a little bit better about not going off in your pocket, but also it's going to be more likely to wear down because it's rubber. But other than the fact that this switch gets pressed relatively easily in your pocket when you're sitting down, I really do enjoy the flashlight. It's high performance. You can use it for multiple different things. You can use it as a tactical flashlight, a hunting flashlight, a DC flashlight. You have a good bit of throw, but it's not super throw, but it's decent. So you can search with it, and what's really important to me is I have instant access to high and strobe. So that's it. That's the review. You can search this on Amazon, and they have like a little kit where it comes with the spare battery and the holster and stuff, and charger. And yeah, I want to say, I can't remember how much it cost. I probably should have looked that up. Well, since I have my calibers here, let's get some measurements. The bezel is 255 millimeters. Let's get that in inches because that's the majority of who's watching me. Basically a 1 inch bezel. And 5.5 inches overall length. I guess I might as well do meters too. 141.3 millimeters. So 5.5 inches, a bench bezel. It's relatively carryable. It's not the smallest flashlight in the world, but it's definitely not the biggest, and I have no real big problem carrying it other than the switch going off in your pocket. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the review. I'm a Satsu 5, and I'm out.